I'm just gonna be on here talking for a little bit. But yeah, man. I was watching a video and someone informed me that the six planets have aligned, right? What do I tell y'all each plane does, each planet? It's a delta. It's pretty much pyramid energy when it's forming its light with the sun. So if six planets are aligned, most likely with the sun, that means you have three twins, okay? Which is three binary systems, which is three pyramids, pretty much kind of like Orion's belt, how it lines up the guys Giza. So this energy being denoted as 6D plus 1. I told y'all when 6D settled is going to be six stars plus 1 aligning with you, okay? Because the thing is, as the grid breaks down, you deal with these M flares and X flares. That's actually being pulled to you. Like you're the magnetism pulling that energy to you. They're trying to block that and manipulate it like they've been this whole time. Okay, so a lot of people still talking about 5D. No, nigga. The only reason um that fifth dimensional energy was something you can use to go higher. It was a gate. It's like the fifth heaven dealing with Enoch. But that's like getting checked by the Gregorites. It was pretty much being checked just to see if you know who the fuck you are type shit. Most people who did went higher. You feel me? Um, I'm the only person I know of myself that had one of them experiences. But when I'm looking at certain people on here that's not fully book smart, I know they went through it. So it's like these these gates, 5D dimension is a measurement, but it's dealing with the measurement of ether. So really this is the ether cycle. As these physical dimensions break down from the ozone layer, you start experiencing it. Okay? So say but the same thing is we're crossing into a parallel. Okay? I've been telling y'all we're dealing with 4, 5, 6 right now. 6 done settled, but it's starting the 7 cycle. Okay? 7 is part of a new trine. Okay? So we're dealing with the energies coming from a tri-solar system now. It's going to be a quad solar system. Really, that's what we deal with. But you feel more of the quad every 3 months. Yeah, every 3 months. Because Sirius as a portal is an opening to the other solar system, which is connected to the tri-solar system. Okay? They might say it's a binary solar system. I don't know what they're saying the planet is right now, but I know it's going to be a a quad. You feel me? That's what's happening now. And that cycle, what we're dealing with is 1 through 12, which is going to be a 12-year thing, not a 3600 thing. Reason why I'm saying you're going to start seeing a lot of more AIs, which you have been seeing. A lot of so-called new things that really ain't really new. It's just the hertz that goes off the hertz that comes off the sun, or the energy that comes off the sun, the ether, energy between light and darkness. Okay, when this energy is coming off, right, it's sending frequencies, which frequencies send signals, and signals are messages, right? Telling it the next mood is really a language. It's harmonic frequencies. Harmonic frequencies tune it back to what it needs to be when there's been manipulations. Okay? So this is a 12-year cycle dealing with carbon 12. So us being in the seventh year, the seventh cycle isn't over till April 2025. Okay? So the thing that's being revealed is what happened 2160 through I think 2520, some shit like that. All these timeline dates I give you are divinely and scaled because it comes back to that number 9. And it deals with the sunspots around the 360 because the 360 kind of represents the firmament, the light, because the firmament is pretty much magnetism anyways. It's a magnetic field, okay? That's been manipulated. That magnetism is getting back pulled to you because the magnetic field is running off of your energy dealing with this moon, okay? The moon is a satellite planet. The sun is pretty much a dwarf planet, and they're pretty much aligned with each other. So these 6 planets that are aligned finally is denoting that 7D energy, 6 plus 1. Okay? Now we here. Okay? So the reason is breaking down because they can't operate pretty much past the 5th or 6th. But when the 5th was going on to settle, what comes up must come down. When that's settling, everything started to break down physically. Like everything's been glitching since the 5D started to settle, or since the 5D was settled and the 6th cycle began. You will literally could be walking outside and you'll see shit glitch. It's like looking at a TV, and your TV might have the little Samsung screensaver or something on there, then it just glitch out for a second. That's what's going on around. Those are like portals and shit trying to get to you, low key. Like, I wouldn't be surprised when you start seeing a lot of these certain areas of forms of light. Like I be seeing certain type of beings, and they be in a form of light. Um, it's just like a heat sensor, like it's building up, and it's like the more you see it, the more it's building up. But it's like this cycle doesn't. This shit keeps on going, but it deals with 12, and then Orion pops into play because that's a new trine. Okay, building a new delta, a new energy to join. Okay, pretty much. I have a video where I was breaking down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, 4, 5, 6 represents CeeLo, a gamma being hit. Okay, that 4, 5, 6 is CeeLo, like gambling. But when you look at the dice actually is 3 crosses, like like the sacrifice of Christ, pretty much. The crucifixion, it pretty much lines down to that. So symbolism, 4, 5, 6 unsettled. Now you have these 6 planets aligning. Okay, that 7, that 6 plus 1. Remember, that's 6 planets aligning with 1. Really is 3 binary systems or 3 twins aligning with 1 because it takes 2 stars to create 1 light. Okay. I mean, to form a new energy. That's the whole thing about the point of a pyramid. When A and B comes together, that gamma is the point. So if the gamma is the point, that's the gamma energy being denoted. Remember, D denotes. So that A through Z is really talking about one whole energy. It's not separate, it's just separated in expressions to express that one energy. Okay? But the six now is settled and the seventh cycle is beginning. So now we're about to go into this new parallel. Okay? 4, 5, 6 is a trine and a parallel. Pretty much we're in the middle. Okay? So say if one hand was a parallel and the other hand was the parallel, we're in the energy between that bitch. So pretty much we're about to transition into the 7, 8, 9. Okay? But it's still gonna deal with the energies from 7 and below. Okay? It's gonna be a whole energy now. So it's gonna be a higher state. Okay? So this deals with the green ray, like the emerald ray, because that deals with the seven rays of light. When you're dealing with the green, it activates the Merkaba when you activate the seven chakras. But the Merkaba pretty much gets activated at center point because from below and down it activates, and from above, I mean from below to your heart it activates, and from the crown to your heart it activates. Okay, it's like one hand, two hand coming together, forming that. Like, people is waiting on the energy, man. The energy is already here. You just have to tune into it. Okay, because most of this shit I've been saying, and it becomes a repeat, is because I picked up on this 2021 and I wasn't book smart, so it comes out the way it comes out for me. But if you listen, you're going to start running into a lot of people who's breaking it down. Okay, or in ways that's attached to it. I'm already saying it. It's just my shit's kind of different from my independent research because it actually talks about the simulator of the fucking sun. Okay, well, this whole Saturn Moon matrix, this shit's about to break for sure, and people are seeing that because what are you seeing? You're seeing a lot be more revealed to the eye. Okay, this is why I'm telling you now, because if you're aware of it, there will be no fear. Okay? You might get startled, but at the same time, you have to remember what you've been learning this last 4 years. Mentally, like, your imagination is the key, because if you're imagining fear of being scared of something to hurt you, then that can manifest in that way when you're pulling in more magnetism. So the more magnetism you're pulling in, the more manifestations increase. But the thing is, a manifestation is not always a pro and is not always a con. Really, when it's dealing with duality or karma, it's going to tune you into where you can get your manifestation to where you need it to be. Because you're always subconsciously manifesting. And that deals with your mental attachments to these emotions on the third dimension. Okay? So to detach from that, you have to use your imagination to see. Once you can see, you can use that and alchemize, because that's becoming a thought of power. Okay? Just like dealing with Omicron. Omicron means to see. Zeta means weapon. So it becomes a eye weapon when you can see. You have your natural eye weapon, And then you have the simulator eye weapon, which pretty much gonna tie back to that Men in Black shit. When they can beam people and they forget. But when a person knows thyself, you're gonna be you need to tune into this shit before this shit happens. You feel me? Because the ones that don't tune into it, when it happens, they're just not gonna remember shit at all. And it might be tied to that program, which is tied to them that's not allowing them to see, because that's a natural thing. It's nothing you have to do voodoo and all this extra shit. It's a natural thing. Okay? Even you can naturally fight back just by being in your energy. Once you allow that third density type of emotion to block your chakras mentally, that can have you blocking energy and sodium channels physically. Because you need to have your sodium channels clear, because that deals with your plasma, blood, and melanin. That's a trine right there. So everything works in threes, six, and nines. Okay? So pretty much of we're in the middle of this cycle, and it's transitioning to 72% illumination. Okay? Around Gemini. Okay? But the real Gemini is September. Okay? But we're going to use this as now because it's kind of more of a Aquarius thing. You feel me right now? But I'm just telling y'all this new energy that's on the planet. To make it easier, it's dealing with the seven ethers. Okay? The seven ethers. This is it. It's not even summertime yet. But it's really been the same temperature all year, even last year. It's been the same temperature, y'all. You know, it's hot as fuck right now, but the last 3 days, they start clouding it up. It started getting cold again. It's the ethers, okay? That's that sub-zero technology. But the sub-zero technology was actually used to create the magnetic field. So they also used that to try to build it back up as it's being depleted. But it's a wrap for them, and they know that. And a lot of things is going to be seen because they can't operate past 6D. There's 6 ether beings. They can't operate past 7 ether, meaning they can't operate past 7 ether, which is settling now. One phase of it settles every 3 months. Okay? For completion, it's going to take 4. So when I say the 7 ether cycle settles completely by 2025, and everyone's going to be saying, oh, it's a 9 year. But it's not going to deal with the 9 ether on 2025. It's going to be dealing with the 7 ether. It's just now, as these portals open up every 3 months, it's going to allow some total energy. So my theory has always been, when 4, 5, 6 settles, that becomes a 0 point energy at 4, 5, 6. So my theory has been, when 4, 5, 6 settles, 7, 8, 9 opens above, and 3, 2, 1 opens below, dealing with the seas and the grounds. So my theory, which I'm starting to see is the truth, y'all know that the months is off. So this simulator and the months I'm going off is showing you the months they're going off. Okay? It's 3 months behind. Okay, so not saying we're behind. I'm saying that's how they track the shit. Okay, so look, that being said, it's June, but in reality it's March. So it's coming up to July, which will be April. When, if anyone's in the chat, if anyone was in the chat, tell me when it was an eclipse. So I don't want to get it wrong. Tell me when it was an eclipse. Cause someone keeps popping up in the chat and then they disappear. Um, when did the eclipse happen? Hey, anyone in the chat can tell me when the eclipse happened? If you're here, maybe. Be forgetting about these. You feel me? Can anybody tell me when the eclipse happens? Hmm? I needs to know. Alright, well, I feel like shit. I'm sorry, Bills. Just gotta turn on the computer. I think this shit a motherfucking game, don't you? You really feel like this a game. Okay? That's what I mean. It's 4/4 of this firmament type thing. Okay? This is representing the magnetics field dealing with the hertz, which is a measurement of time. So you won't know the time and day off of reading a calendar, using it for time from the way it's been presented to you as time. You have to read it by energy because that's how everything runs in this matrix is off energy and thoughts. Okay? When it's dealing with you, you are an electromagnetic being. Some of you just are electric beings, but a lot of you are electromagnetic beings. Really, everyone is low key, but really, not everyone is. So, the thing is, bro, them CMEs start hitting around this time and start breaking down the firmament. It start exposing a new light that was being blocked out pretty much. So that okay, hey, whoever's on here, when was the eclipse? Drop it in the chat, please. Y'all lame as hell. I don't look, I don't mean it like that. I'm still a regular person though. Just because I'm dropping this knowledge, I don't change shit. Peace to you. Hit that subscribe button and then like if you ain't trying to listen though. Because it's going to help somebody else who wants to listen see it. Sure, I think this is a joke, but everyone's about to start revealing it. I said, if anything, this channel's going to grow this year. Okay? I call this the 360 science, like I'm the man who fell from Earth. Because really, I did. So look, as it goes around, it goes up 90 degrees. That's representing a corner of the firmament. These certain sacred degrees, these sacred numbers like 144, 72, 77, 222, all types of shit, they're sunspots. And they're sunspots either because there are lands under the seas. It's sunspots because it's lands under the sea, or it's like some Dr. Evil layers, because all the Dr. Evil layers had deltas. Okay? You might have it in a volcano, you might have it in an underground sea, little layer. Be nice as fuck. Be underground somewhere, one in space, all types of shit. They was trying to do that just like Elon Musk. It's funny though, cause it's an older series of movies with Mike Myers, Michael Myers. But anyways, let's continue. So as you go around this 360, the energy of the sun intensifies. But as it goes around, these hertz, right, as I say, it's hertz is actually representing BC and AD times. BC and AD is pretty much uh it's pretty much this. One parallel and another parallel. Okay? That's AD and BC is two parallels that cross. The thing about these parallels that's cross is about to deal with the 4, 5, 6 energy, and is going to have above and below back connected like Gemini. So when I say we going back to Gemini, even though it's Aquarius, Gemini lines up with Aquarius on the Gregorian calendar. So when we going back to Gemini, we going back to Gemini. Dealing with the red, the blue, and I want to interrupt my video and shit. And I was saying, why would you be getting paid from the feds and all this shit to be fucking with me? You know I got pulled over. I found out. I found out some shit. Oh, it's settled. So now we're dealing with going to the seventh plane, the seventh heaven. When you're dealing with the different abilities, okay? Because the air is going to be changing, and as the air changes, it changes the atoms within your body and it's your structure. Because why? And inside of you is one energy, is part of your body. This ether is literally you, okay? You're the energy, okay? Meaning you can control this whole shit. And no, you don't have to be a female to control weather because it's not you being a female, it's you tapping into your feminine energy, okay? Which everyone has. That X gene is the reason you're here, okay? And your Y gene is not a recessive gene. Since someone wants to keep calling me, your X gene is a feminine gene. It's also a dominant, okay? It's also a dominant. They have Y flares, they just don't talk about it, and they removed it off the internet. The Y flare, when I read it, that's what made me realize much from my memory, it sounded like it was like an army or like Homeland Security or something trying to move in on motherfuckers. Like some Nazi type shit. And this was 2021. I was literally outside smoking on the stairs like I usually do. And it felt warm and it felt cool. And from my knowledge, when it feels warm and cool, it's because of them trying to make it cool, but it's too much radiation still hitting at the same time. So it has that cool sensation and a warm sensation, like being at home with the fake AC on and shit like that. That's how I was feeling. So, um, dealing with that, bruh, it's like I remember seeing a neighbor. This nigga flew down the third story, jet speed, to where he had light behind him. It was weird, but I guess it was just showing how fast. He was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" I think it was like some zombie type shit. And he was running. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at the sky, smoking my blunt. And I'm just looking at the skies and shit. And I'm seeing things blow up. I'm seeing just people act weird. And then when I went into the house, it's like nobody could see me. So I'm telling everybody, let's go, let's go. But it was like I was a ghost. You feel me? And that's kind of how I feel right now, being here. Telling people I be feeling like a ghost. And that dream happened before I even started doing all this shit. So it was like I really felt like a ghost in my own dream because they was only listening to my brother who popped up saying, Shaq was right. It's time for us to go. My parents could not leave. Like somehow the house started catching on fire and some more shit. They couldn't leave, and I guess they was just accepting the transition from that point. But me trying, it was like I was still trying to gather up all my shit because I had a big ass, I had a lot of food, fire starters, tents, hammocks, all types of stuff. So I was trying to gather that stuff up, and I remember hearing this beast behind me, and the beast was, and that's how I woke up. And I woke up, my spine was on fire. And I woke up just like, what the fuck, bro? I remember hearing the chainsaw, everything. Stuff in the sky just blowing up. Oh, weird stuff, you feel me? But now that I know from my predictions, because if you watch my old videos, I swear to God, I was just talking out loud, trying to figure it out. So really, I was trying to teach, but at the same time, I was just trying to figure it out. You feel me? I was trying to figure it out with you. Like, we could do this shit together. You feel me? Because that's one thing. Yes, you can have a knowledgeable person that's talking to you, but I'd rather work with the collective. I don't want to seem like I'm your leader when we're a collective, okay? Because there's ones and twos, there's A's and B's to that, and I'd rather be the three, okay? The three in my eyes represents the 0 point energy, which is pretty much like a theta type thing. Not sleep, I'm awakened. Even if I was asleep, I'm awakened. I want y'all to watch Matrix every day of the week for this whole week. Even if you've seen it before, just watch it. Please, just watch it. It's gonna start helping you tune back in. Just watch it. Don't even watch the movie. Just close your eyes and just listen. When you're meditating, turn on the Matrix. Okay? I don't know if people meditate for hours and hours. I could be anywhere and I'd be like this. Just anywhere. I could be chilling with a group of people and I could just, I do, sometimes your imagination is the key. Anyways, Because once you start getting attached to some, and these CMEs is hitting it intensifies your emotion. So that's why it's imperative to be operating in the heart space and higher. Because you operate in the heart space and higher, you're always operating your heart. Even if you're in your root, you're still operating in your root. It's just your love becomes a hate for, you feel me, because of love. But it still be attached to your hate because it's attached to your root. All your chakras is really one energy. It's just expressed in seven. But then you have higher ones. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's too much fucking division going on. And it's not. And when it deals with energy, energy is not a divided thing when it's created because that's how it operates. It's just the alphabet. A through Z is one energy expressed in 26 ways. Um, dang, I didn't mean to be on here this long. I got off topic. But I mean, y'all pretty much catching what I'm trying to say. This is the 7D, not the 5th. Let's get it.